here, he thought, I've never been in this neighborhood before. There could be knickers anywhere. He thought sweet dreams are made of these, reverberated his entire car, making it pulsate even as the $9 wine circulate through his powerful thick veins and washed away his myriad fear of minorities after dark. There could be niggers he said to himself out loud.
We peaked as a species. Where do we go from here? We have AI green text set to 80s hair metal. I mean, back it up. We're done. There's no progress from here. We peaked. Fuck. Okay. Okay, so this is a rumor. Rumor that Henry Cavill is not happy with Warhammer's introduction of female custodies. Amazon wanted female space marines. The long and short with this one here is that Amazon wanted, allegedly, this is all rumors and stuff, but it's kind of a rumor slop that I actually kind of do agree with, and it does make sense. That Amazon wanted female space marines, but even GW was just like, nah, that's too far. And so the train of thinking here is that the female custodies was the compromise to have, say, like, okay, no, we have female representation, but it's in the tabletop. We can't have that there, in our flagship, TV series now. And Henry Cavill is kind of just like, guys, I just want to make my Warhams TV show. Much like him in The Witcher. He's just like, guys, I actually like this here series. Can we just like stick to the source material? But it's like, no. And the conspiracy theory I've heard before that I actually do agree with. I kind of do agree with the conspiracy theory that Amazon wants to nuke GW so that they can buy him on the cheap. I'm a really big fan of this one here. Like, Amazon wants to go full fuck force and just nuke its worth and just gobble it up. So, I don't know. A lot of Warhams, big think going, but again, it's just conspiracy theories. But I don't know. I think it's interesting, and I do think there's maybe a bit of truth in this one. Like, no offense, but Henry Cavill's been complaining behind the scenes for a while now with the Amazon Warhammer series, and it kind of feels bad. Feels bad, man, because I know he was all in on the Witcher series until that went to shit, and he's all in on this one here, and it looks like it's going to shit right out of the gate. So it's just like, man, feels bad, man. So I don't know. I think it's neat. Big thunk. Okay, so current update on this one here. So Grums, aka Mark Kern, got a $30,000 bounty on his head, and he's calling for the FBI to investigate Twitch streamer Denims after she raises bounty on his head $30,000. Blah blah blah. We've been over most of this at this point. Over the steroid blade censorship, Mark Kern's petition to like reinstate the game as it originally was, all the censorship, blah blah blah. We've been over this. Fucking. Oh yeah, I got an yeah, I got Asmund Bald is gonna opine on this. I got it lined up later, so see if we can jump to it right now. Let's see. Nope, not that one. Not that one. Not that one. Ah, yes, this one. And bump you up. So Asmund Bald reacts to the Twitch streamer Denims placing a 30,000 bounty on Grums. Twitch will have to ban her. I really don't give two rats' asses about the opinions of Asmund Bald and stuff, but again, it's Pippa's and Kirsch's Oshi. The very, very, very balding, very, very what the fuck Asmund Bald opining his very lukewarm takes on this here stuff. But I find it I just find it funny in and of itself because as much as I'll rag on Asmund Bald and stuff, he has a really large audience and stuff. So anytime like a news thing comes across his grimy Wendy's filled table, it gets eyes on the whatever subject matter is and stuff. So that's kind of like, oh, Asmund is aware of it now. Now it's gonna go nuclear, kind of thing. So not really new about that, other than the streamer normies are aware of it now, if nothing else. Okay, I think there's two of the. Yep. Okay, gonna move this one related because we got two back to back. Okay, so I mentioned this the other time. The farm folks did a survey of literally the female jiggle physics. That was literally all it was. And this year's farm folks apologized for asking players feedback on his female character physics. So they did the jiggle physics poll. People, well, I say people, the usual suspects. The usual suspects had a conniption, as they are wont to do. And of course, they bend the knee. But it's kind of funny because Black Girl Gamers, we talked about them previously, opined on it and saying like, no. It's like you were being bad little game developers. You're being misogynistic. No. And of course, they bend the knee to the woke mob. Blah blah blah. We've seen it a million times at this point. People hot takes on it, but here's the apology letter that they put out. I'm gonna read it because it's really funny. Let's see. We like to address recent posts where we came to our community asking for feedback. Our intent is always to connect and grow with our players, but it's clear that we really missed the mark on our recent community feedback posts. For that, we all sincerely apologize. We had received concerns about the female player model breast physics in the past, and we thought we should ask the community what felt more appropriate. Unfortunately, this crossed the line. We tried to foster a welcoming community, and the post subsequently replies made many of our community members uncomfortable and alienated. The reply made about 150% physics was also inappropriate, and we apologize for that. We are taking necessary steps to learn from this, and we're committed to doing better moving forward. We value the feedback of our community. No, you don't. And we work hard to include everyone in the discussion. No, you don't. And we want to create a game that feels alive, which is why we pay close attention to every aspect of our world, from how weather and time affects the world to the character's interactive presence within it. We want everyone to feel included in the game's development, and we will reevaluate how to best interact with the community, as well as how to best ask for feedback from the community in the future. Your input is instrumental as we continue to develop Farm Folks. We'll keep sharing updates and progress on X and Discord. Your enjoyment and how you choose to experience our world is our utmost priority. Thank you for being part of our journey, and for your support and understanding as we grow. And I'll give the character bigger tits and go crazy on the jiggle physics and then come back to me. But that's not what's going to happen because after apologizing for asking for feedback for his female character physics, Farm Folks CEO implies gamers are incels as part of Kotaku hit piece. Motherfucker, this shit does not stop. You think it would stop with Sweet Baby Incorporated, but nope, it just continues. Gamergate 2 is off into the wild blue yonder and not stopping. The brakes are off. Alex Kolashov, CEO of Creativo, the development company behind Farm Folks, implied gamers or incels as part of the hit piece run by Kotaku's senior editor and our favorite giant-ass cunt, Alyssa Mercante. Allegedly spoke to Mercante for over an hour after his game issued an apology asking for player feedback for his female character physics on April 27th. That was the previous thing we went over. So they did the poll. They got the pushback. Black girl gamers wagged their fingers at them, saying, "You're naughty, naughty little boys." And we went over the apology letter. Okay, so here's the interview part. First, addressing the original post, he explained the wording was silly. He would later elaborate. The original idea was, yeah, we spice it up with a joke, which was the problem, but the general idea was to make sure we're doing the breast physics right, because our game is very immersive. It's not that we're fixating on women's parts. Our entire character body is full of technology. To me, breast movement was not controversial since it's human biology. First mistake. As for the apology, he explained, we're apologizing for the wording, but oh god, reflex immediately. And there's people saying you guys should apologize. Not cool. You should stand up to the crowd. No, we fucked up. We're happy to apologize. He also confirmed that we have female breast physics regarding the elegant, tasteful breast physics implementation. I think we're still going to go to it. Confirming that anyone using folks is a huge gay word. Yup. Mercante then details that she asked him about joining the game's Discord in bad faith or those who believe the boobies should be bouncing at 150% physics. It should be 200%. Damn it. In an edited response by Mercante, Cuck told her, we don't want vulgarity because like, it can be fun, it can be a little goofy, it can be memey, but we're not going to go after like over-sexualization goofiness in the ways like Conan Exiles, where you can like modify penises and things like that. We listen to our community. We hear some sometimes talk about like implementing like, this guy says like as much as I do, that jiggle physics right, which again, like we obviously have tons of settings for any kind of physics, like the body parts, just like we do it with soft spots like the butt. We can do it with chest, shoulders, anything's like we're just assigning it. It just makes it immersive. He continues. Next he shares, but to answer your question, no, we don't want to attract nasty people, those nasty, naughty gamers. We don't want those. We'll have some limits, like as much as we want to give it, but it's so controversial. I want the player to choose how they want their character to look. Like, if you want, for example, the breast to have a little movement or not. But, like, again, it's not going to be like you scroll the physics slider up and then it's like all over the place and it's like goofy. This is what I sound like. We are definitely not tailoring our games for little kids. We want to spice stuff for people to have fun, to have action, to have fun, he said. Cuck would reiterate to Mercante the goals for players to properly represent themselves in the game. We're not aiming for over-exaggerations. The goal is to make it very elegant, very sensitive to women and their bodies, despite Farm Folks sexualizing the jiggle physics. Cuck then attacked gamers, so this is the fun part. You have to be a very poor person to kind of sexualize this, like the internet is full of sex right now. There's some crazy things you can't find if you're having problems with our characters, like look for help. He continued, maybe go and date a woman or something like that, because it's not our goal. We don't want to attract people that are attracted to only these body parts. Not only did Cuck imply gamers are incels, but he had strong words to say about former World of Warcraft team lead Mark Kern, who criticized Farm Folk for his apology. Kern shared next, why you should never apologize to the cancel pigs. They were never your customers. They don't buy games, comics. They will ask for more and more and will even blast you for your apology. They want to hurt you, and an apology only emboldens them to do more. You lose sales. Your real customers hate you for caving. You leave money on the table. You have an obscure indie game, and it's hard to stand out. You literally missed your I think he meant chance to get 10x the support and visibility by doing this. He added, it's not too late, farm folks. If you delete the apology and put the jiggle physics back in and tell them the pound sand, you can still rock your game to marketing success. I agree. Cook commented to Mercante on Kern's post, fuck that. I don't care what he thinks. I'm apologizing for structuring badly. If we were to rewind the times, we would skip that. I'm sorry, we got caught. The CEO added, we don't want to be part of the culture war. Bullshit. We don't want Kern to give us any recommendations. We prefer to evaluate it from what we consider human character, and we want to be sincere with our fans and do good. We don't want to get that kind of dirt. I see this as the biggest problem in the United States. All people are very divided, he stated. Yeah, you're not exactly helping there, Chief. There's two camps and everybody's throwing stones at each other. I'm more on the side of like we need to. It sounds a little bit silly, but I think it's about unifying and finding language between each other. Bravo, Chief. Bravo. So, yeah. The cucketing shall continue until morale improves. So if you had this on your radar whatsoever, they bent the knee to black girl gamers. They go crying to Kotaku. They call their customers incels. You know, it's just like farm folk going to be dead in the water. I'm sure we're going to be following this for a while. And coming back to the originator of Gamergate 2, Sweet Baby Incorporated, influenced Alan Wake 2, still has not recouped his budget. So Alan Wake 2 still has not recouped his budget. That's all you need to know. They haven't recouped the budget yet. This fucking is hilarious. There are no words. This is like chef kiss comedy. Right now, so Alan Wake has sold 1.3 million units as of beginning of February. Alan Wake 2 sales continue with even higher price. At the end of the first quarter, the game has recouped a significant part of the developing and marketing expenses. That means that they don't have all of it. So they don't have all of it. That is funny. During the first quarter, the team focused on working with downloadable content that will extend Alan Wake 2, blah, blah, blah. And going over all the marketing and stuff. But we all know how Alan Wake 2 ended up. But again, just the main takeaway of they still haven't recouped their losses. Oh my god, this is just so funny. This is just so fucking funny. Oh, fuck. Okay, going back to G-Dubs. G-Dubs doubles down on gaslighting its hobbyists over female Adeptus Custodes in Warhammer 40k. Game Workshop doubled down gaslighting on its Warhammer 40k hobbyists and enthusiasts after retconning the Adeptus Custodes and claiming females have always been part of the organization. Okay, this is the background. Blah blah blah. Where's the more new stuff? Okay, here we go. In a blog post on their Warhammer community website, instead of noting the Adeptus Custodes are recruited from Sons and Nobles, the blog post states potential custodians are taking at a very young age to better survive the rigors of their transformation, no older than late infancy, for the fundamental changes that will be wrought upon their flesh, minds, and souls are tantamount to apotheosis. It is considered a great honor for those of Terra noble houses to submit a child. As YouTuber Edmund notes, not a male child anymore, just a child. You see how easy it is to retcon things, to push narratives. All it takes is a simple push. Or as I like to, people will call this, all people will call this is like, oh, that's a slippery self fallacy. It's like, motherfucker, it's a long way of saying death by 1,000 cuts. That's all it is, death by 1,000 cuts. A little change here or there until eventually people don't know the truth anymore is what irks me the most, is what we're seeing, things getting deliberately changed in front of our eyes, and when questioned, we're being called crazy. Yep. He later notes why these changes are important. The point here is that history lore, the very concept of what the fact versus what isn't important, whether it's nonfiction or fiction itself, the ideas and concepts need to be respected, and the fact that these things keep getting changed to fit an agenda that leans only in one direction proves that it's being done deliberately. Yep. Still later, he aptly compared the changes to males being added to Amazonians in the DC universe. It would be like me writing a Wonder Woman comic is suddenly going, actually, there's always been male Amazonians, and actually most Amazonians are men, It will remember a small section of, I can't pronounce that word. Defends the male lamb zonings from fire, and feminists will go, but the Merceria is paradise of female Amazons only. This damages the lore. Of course, our usual go-to joke for that there is get Ryan Reynolds to be the next Black Panther and have, like, oh, there was always white Wakandans. And yes, it would definitely damage the lore in more ways than one. That's why it's the equivalent of he asserted. Going over the token secondary world stuff, we've been over this before. You have to remain consistent. Long story short, you have to remain consistent in your world. I usually equate the token diatribe to when you make something, you first make up your toolbox, and that toolbox is what you're going to use to make your creation, and you're limited by that toolbox for good and bad. And if you start changing the tools in that toolbox, then you start devaluing your creation. Yeah, it stops having any meaning because it doesn't mean anything anymore because you can just change it. And that's all that means. So that's that. Let's see, Doctor Who. There's a couple of these. Yep, okay, Doctor Who. Yeah. Actually, since we're gonna continue on the Games Workshop one. So this is kind of funny. Games Workshop villainizes political pundit Carl Benjamin, aka Sargon of Akkad, in Warhammer 40k. I didn't think too much of this at the time that I read this, but actually it's really funny. Okay, so this is going in the backstory of Games Workshop author Mike Brooks reportedly villainized political pundit Carl Benjamin, aka Sargon of Akkad, in their 2020 book Necromunda: Road to Redemption. They're going over, so the beginning of this article going over previous incidences of this Mike fellow being a woke a woke commie piece of shit. And so I'm just going to read this here post. Just a friendly reminder that Mike Brooks' new novel, Lilith Hesperax, Queen of Knives, will be released later this year, and I won't tell you what to do, but I'm not buying it. Mike Brooks is obsessed with gender identity and one of the most woke BL authors. Here are some examples, and goes over some examples. And I quote, Mike Brooks says, freebooters support pride, trans rights, and Black Lives Matter. And literally going colors and things, and literally the freebooter fist is totally Black Lives Matter, and not like wah loots gonna get our teeth. Not famed Applebee's manager Sargon of Akkad. I know, right? But we're gonna so the article is just giving examples of like literally grasping at straws, making like pulling shit out of his ass. It's just like, okay, so next he shares a list of Brooks' activism being inserted Warhammer 40k lore. It states Black library author who just needs to insert real life politics and woke agenda in every piece of fiction he makes. Here are some of his fine examples of his novels. Wanted Dead, alphabet soup characters, gangers that believe the God Empress instead of the God Emperor. The Big Daka, transgender Dukari. Brutal Cunning, non-binary characters and neutral pronouns. Renegade's Hero Master, paraphrasing what Umberto Eco writes in Eurofascism. Road to Redemption, writing a villain known as, and this is the title, the clickbait title portion of it. Writing a villain known as Sarkon Agad, which is an obvious jab of Sarkon of Akkad, aka Carl Benjamin. Lots of try-hard allegories to real-life politics. Lion, Sons of the Forest, new pronouns and gender identity, implying the Space Marines could have some kind of romantic feelings for each other. Ugh. Rites of passage, yep, you guessed it, new pronouns, pushing his own ideology to character mouths. Let's see, going over that there. Yeah, so, and then the article continues on to expand on the incidents of the Sarkon of Agad. The excerpt reads, Sarkon Agad bellowed with rage, his voxcaster amplifying it until his war cry was nearly a weapon in its own right, and lumbered into a charge, both chain axes revving up until the whir of their blades became a banshee scream. Alan Shaw raised their silenced stub gun and trained it on the behemoth bearing down on them. An action would look to Zeke to be the equivalent of a menacing croc with a toothpick. It continued. The shadows threw themselves on Agad, slowing him and overwhelming him. The slave master lashed out with his chain axe, and one of his assailants was thrown clear, nearly bisected. But there were too many for him to fight. His arms were immobilized, and he was borne down on the ground, bellowing with impotent rage. Then a short, squat shape clambered onto his back, wrapped a chain, a slave's manacles. Oh my god, they're going for full imagery on this one. Around Agad's neck and began to pull. Agad's breathing, hideously amplified by his voxcaster, became more and more ragged, more and more desperate. Then, as his executioner gave one final wrench on the chains, Sarkhan, Agad's death rattle rang out. And Benjamin reacted to being parodied in Game Workshop Brooks writing X. I'm officially canon in the Warhammer universe. I don't like this. I don't like the sentence, and it's true now. Sargon is canon in the Warhammer universe now. What's next? Arch? Are they going to make Arch canon now too? Fucking Christ! If anyone can supply a proper description of his character, I'm happy to make him and paint him. Oh god. Sword 40k, then supplied him with one that raised the voice against Centaurian and rolling, packing with bombast and venom. A huge figure stepped into Zeke's view, blah blah blah, just repeating that shit. Benjamin reacted writing, what a cool description. So it's just like Sargon Agad desperately trying to get Abaddon to the spoiler to Voxcast Dark Crusade Gate 2. Dark Crusade Gate 2, fucking Christ. God damn it. God damn it. In a roundabout way, I guess Sargon's part of Gamergate 2 now. if we're extending that to G Dubs right now. Fuck me. This is so fucking stupid. It's so fucking stupid. My brain, it hurts. Okay, continuing on with the gay British nonsense. Report, Doctor Who showrunner Russell T Davies redesigned the sonic screwdriver because it too closely resembled a gun. For those of you who don't know, the traditional sonic screwdriver literally looks like a fucking screwdriver. It looks like a screwdriver with a bunch of other knobs and bits on it. But now they changed it to look like a goddamn Amazon remote. A new report claims that the Doctor Who showrunner blah 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 created two sonic screwdrivers, the first for 14 Doctor. So this is kind of more in line with the traditional sonic screwdriver. It's like here's the thing about Doctor Who. Doctor Who is literally a wizard in space. That's all Doctor Who ever was, is wizards in space, and the sonic screwdriver is his magic wand. That's all it ever was. That's all it ever will be. Literally, the sonic screwdriver is a magic wand for the space wizard. That's all it is. None more, none less. But now it looks like a fucking remote control. It doesn't even look like a wand anymore. In fact, I'll go so far as to say it looks like a goddamn butt plug. Okay? Let's zoom in on this. The sonic screwdriver now looks like a butt plug. I'm not going to let this go. The sonic screwdriver looks like a butt plug now. And this is coming from the show creator who is all about promoting all the woke nonsense, including up to but not limited to sodomy. Okay? And the sonic screwdriver looks like a butt plug. What is the show creator trying to tell us? What is Davies trying to tell us here? Okay? Yeah, it's like, yeah, and then you can easily make the joke that the sonic screwdriver. You can easily make the joke that the sonic screwdriver always looks like either a dildo or a Hitachi. I struggle on that one, like a Hitachi. You know, the jokes write themselves and stuff, but it's like, okay, but I can kind of wave it off. It's like, okay, whatever. It's a magic wand. Who gives a shit and stuff? But there's no hiding. That looks like a butt plug. I'll take the magical space dildo over the butt plug at this point, because at least I can pretend it's the magic wand, which is the original 10. It's a goddamn magic wand. Uh, so it's like, okay, Gabe, like you have to take stock at this point right now. It's like the showrunner is all about these here little the woke communist nonsense and stuff, but it's Doctor Who, so it's kind of whatever. But like the Doctor now is like a gay black man with a butt plug for sonic screwdriver. Oh, and I've never really commented at this point. His companion now is a blue eyed blonde. It's just like, I wonder what they're trying to say here. I wonder what the message is here. Okay. And continuing on the Doctor Who thing. Doctor Who hides posts bashing the upcoming show Russell T Davies and Nikunti Gatwa. So, this is a reminder. The show, like the new season of Doctor Who, isn't even out yet. Okay, all this is just coming from press material, promotion material, and like interviews and shit. Okay, it's not even out yet, and they've already turned off the comments on all the shit. They've turned off the comments. That's how bad the fan reaction is to the new Doctor Who. Is they turned off all the comments. He looks like fucking Pluto Nash. You do not insult our Lord and Savior Eddie Murphy on this one here. You take that back. That's an insult to Eddie Murphy. You take it back. Fuck. He's like the AIDS. He's like the AIDS. It's like Pluto. If Pluto Nash got AIDS, that's what he looks like. Oh god. Let's see. The account posted next April 27. Are you ready for this? 2 weeks countdown has begun. Watch Doctor Who, BBC iPlayer in the UK 11th May and Disney Plus 10th May were available. The post has dozens of replies hidden for criticizing the show for various reasons. Some include criticisms of actor Nikunti Gatwa. Others include the fact that the show is airing in the United States before the UK. I did not notice that. The first time. So the US is going to see Doctor Who for the UK first. Okay, I get. This is petty. I love this. For context, again, this is Doctor Who, one of the pillars of science fiction, TV science fiction and stuff, and it's always been very blatantly British. And the fact that the US is getting the episode first before the UK, this is gold. This is fucking gold. Oh my god, I did not notice that. Oh shit. Let's see. Super excited, don't care what people have to say, blah, blah, blah. So, like, there are hidden replies. So they started hide, like they have, I'm sure they're probably deleting some, but they've hidden a bunch of them too. While those hidden replies might indicate the account was simply hiding the replies that featured implied foul language, the next set puts the theory to bed. One person simply wrote no thanks and then shared an image of Nikunti Gatwa offering a rainbow-colored pile of poop. Another posted, I don't hate watch any something. If you hate watch, at least pirate it or don't watch it. It's that easy. So there's the rainbow poop. Another set of hidden replies features a gif of Gatwa saluting, seemingly indicating a positive response to the show. One person wrote, keep your woke bullshit from us, shitizen. While another decried an individual lusting after Nikunti Gatwa while promoting sodomy. You are 100% desperate and pathetic if you want that thing making love to you. I want a real, proper, attractive man, not a stupid, flouncing excuse of a man. Woof. Another set of him replies, one user writes, show now panders to mentally ill sexual degenerates. Main star is a racist who hates 95% of the audience. Main character is now a depraved sexual deviant. A 60-year-old franchise down the shitter. R.I.P. Doctor Who. Another post, nope, not watching any episode with that race-baiting piece of shit in it. A third post, groomers, and linked a video to criticizing the show by Gary Butcher of Nerdotic. Let's see. Hiding these replies appears to be the latest in a disastrous press tour for the upcoming show. Variety's Elsie Schaefer detailed the show is being used to propagandize sodomy to young children. She reported as criticism of Doctor Who is a show that appeals to children, and that a queer actor playing the Doctor will reach more kids than ever with his new home on Disney Plus, which is a disturbing idea for homophobes. Davey sees the show wider reach as an opportunity to open people's minds. We've covered this interview in previous article. Of he's defending all this here shit and stuff, and it's like, if you don't like it, just don't watch it. And if you're homophobic, you're a fucking chud. You know, that level of shit. And it's like, Okay, well, if you're telling us not to watch it, well, I wonder how it's going to do in ratings and by extension profits. So, see how it goes. Gonna call it right now. It's probably going to do bad. Go up, go broke, blah, blah, blah. Seen this a million times at this point. It's getting old. Getting new material. Blah, 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 blah. And just more stuff we've already been over before. Got West saying, don't watch, blah, blah, blah. It's like, hates whiteys, race bait the whole time, blah, blah, blah. So, I don't know. It's gonna be a pile of shit. So we're probably gonna be seeing the fucking fallout for a while now. Okay. Next, no arrest for the wicked game designer Alexander Brazy attempts to justify DEI hiring practices. Doctor Who has been dead since they changed doctors from David Tennant. I've never been a Doctor Who guy, but I can kind of agree because I get that sentiment from what I see. Let's see. Alexander Brazy, game designer for No Rest for the Wicked and owner of Atode Mech Consulting, attempted to justify DEI hiring practices by lying about them. I'm going to read this here shit because this is actually really funny. As reported by P9er Girl, Brazy commented on the post from War Dog Studio CEO Jay Law, stating, "Let's have an honest conversation about DEI hiring, not to be confused with diverse content. People don't seem to really understand these policies, so let's discuss." This is going to be fun. She then defined what it means by DEI, albeit her definition is not how major corporations such as the Walt Disney Company and Amazon define it. Nevertheless, she defines it in writing. DEI policies are aimed at promoting fairness and encouraging hiring and advancement of underrepresented groups as a means of tackling bias and prejudice. They typically do not mandate hiring quotas or specify that individuals must be hired on the basis of their race or gender. Some companies might set voluntary goals to hire underrepresented groups as a means to address historical discrimination. As you can see, she contradicts herself, noting there are no quotas and then admitting there are indeed quotas. It doesn't stop there. Law continued. Diversity can mean a lot of things. It's not just about race or gender, but class, background, experience, and neurodivergence. So, Titanosaurus, I take note. She always said, "I personally place a large value in neurodivergence and diversity of thought." After claiming it's not about race or sex, she would then confirm that's exactly what it is. "I don't agree with hiring anyone other than the perfect person for the job, regardless of gender or race. But guess what? Turns out often means hiring a woman or a person of color these days. If you're on an art Twitter, you know it's highly competitive, and the number of things people say is portfolio is all that matters. It's not. If that's not meritocracy, I don't know what is." Despite the numerous contradictions and obvious lies already, Law then attempted to justify why these racial and gender quotas are now mainstream. Again, we're not done. Well, one of the big reasons is how accessible the industry is now. You can literally find all the resources you need to learn art and even programming online for free. The industry is wonderful for social mobility. I personally think that's the great thing, as breaking through class barriers is something I'd love to see more working class people achieve. This does not explain why DEI hiring has racial and gender quotas. It does not appear to have anything to do with DEI hiring at all. From there, Law goes on to reiterate much of what she already posted, and the hypocrisies and contradictions included. Brazy responded to the post, writing, "Yeah, it would help if people understood effective DEI is about helping people who historically didn't have the network to get eyes on their work to have chance due to their equal skill. The whole merit smearing is so banal, presumptuous, and out of touch with realities. Frowny face." Like Law, Brazy's short post contradicts herself. If effective DEI was truly about merit, then you would not have racial and gender quotas in the first place. Clearly, DEI calculates in race and sex over other factors when hiring. That's what DEI hiring is. Duh. I know this, you know this, and stuff. But the mental gymnastics. Here's the thing: they're not successful in their own mental gymnastics because they are incapable of having two opposing thoughts. It's like they're not, it's like the NPC programming is failing on these people. It's fucking hilarious. It's just so funny. And going over ABC inclusion standards, we've been over that before. It's just like, I just love the closing line. if one was truly based on merit, one would not need DIR practices that clearly enforce race and sex-based quotas. It's just like, yes, duh. Tumblr Fuji's could have jailed to it after that. Yeah. Okay. Okay, and it looks like it's not just the BBC. I know turning off. I know turning off comments is not exactly anything new, but to just spring off the BBC instance of hiding comments, the Walt Disney Company turns off comments for Mufasa, the Lion King. For the Walt Disney Company turned off comments for its latest trailer for Mufasa, the Lion King, as numerous individuals share their dislike of the trailer and the upcoming film. Trailer currently just has shy of 6.2 million views, but has over 237,000 dislikes compared to just 107,000 likes. So it has twice the amount of dislikes than it does likes, and they're turning off comments. As seen in the coverage of the trailer being massively disliked by Kineon and Geeky Sparkles of Clownfish TV, the comments were lampooning the Walt Disney Company, and top comment before the comments were shut off stated, "It's funny how Lin-Manuel Miranda agreed to write original songs for his movie instead of Moana 2. And there stated, without a drop of nobility, this movie literally retcons Mufasa's whole conversation with Simba, making him the first king of the Pride Lands. Still another road. I like the part where Mufasa held Scar in a death grip and said, look at me, I'm the captain now." Another post said it would have been so cool to see his hand-drawn animation in the style of the original Lion King. I wish that we're making this movie in the classic 2D animation style. Wrote another wrote, when Mufasa said, you're going to need a bigger boat, my jaw dropped. And Disney telling me you're out of ideas without telling me you're out of ideas. This is true. Still another wrote, without dropping nobility, he tossed a lightsaber over his shoulder. And I posted, how does a 30-year-old movie look better than this? Fuck. These comments no longer available to view as well. Disney company turned them off. Film's director Barry Jenkins reacted to criticism of the trailer, posting next. One user wrote, Barry, you're too good and talented for this Iger's soulless machine. Jenkins responded, there's nothing soulless about Lion King. For decades, children have sat in theater all over the world, experiencing collective grief for the first time, engaging Shakespeare for the first time, across aisles and myriad languages, the most potent vessel for communal empathy. Tell me you're a communist without telling me you're a communist. Ex-user Noble Q Ali then retorted, come on, man, I interviewed you when you premiered Moonlight at TIFF, and the Barry Jenkins wouldn't have said what you just said. You can do a Disney movie for a check in order to work on your passion projects at a later time, but you don't have to chill like this. Jenkins replied, bro, what kind of logic is that? How about this? Here's videos from the same Barry Jenkins who premiered Moonlight, as you put it, showing some of the things I was doing in my spare time at the same time as I was writing Moonlight. From there, Jenkins provided a number of examples of projects he worked on before concluding, children have figured prominently in every single one of my projects from Moonlight till now, without exception, like, bruh. That's a very oddly specific thing to point out. You can say whatever you want about the film, but telling me that something I said about something is meaningful to me for children is cap. Nah, bruh. So, I don't know. I know it's going to be shit, but the fact that the director is circling the wagons on himself and stuff is kind of, it tells you everything you need to know. Okay, so a couple more gaming news before getting into traditional clown world of Zero Hedge. From Wargamer, virtual singer Hatsune Miku to star in 4 Magic the Gathering Secret Lairs. That's all there is to it. It's going to be Hatsune Miku is getting in 4 secret lairs. So this is good. This is the first drop right now for secret lair for Hatsune Miku. Let's see what do we got. We got Shelter, Miku Spark, Harmonize, Miku Lost but Singing. Some of you might recognize that one there from the TVA Magic Gathering set. Miku the Renowned, and the last one was spoilered. So it's just like, fuck. You're dipping your force of will. You're dipping your force of will into Buddyfight Vanguard into my Magic the Gathering. Goddammit. No one really cares, but I thought that was just. I've never been into secret lairs, so I don't give a shit. Okay, next. Dungeons and Dragons Beyond has axed its handiest feature, and fans are pissed. Long story short, is the online store for Dungeons and Dragons used to have a la carte buying. So if you wanted to buy like like character class, artifact, monster, you could just like click a list and it'll a la carte to your cart. But they got rid of, so the crux of this here article is that they got rid of a la carte shopping for the online portion of Dungeons and Dragons. So you have to buy the entire module, like the entire book, as it were, now. And thank you, Wizards of the Coast. You continue to shoot yourselves in the foot. Fuck. There's gonna come a point where we'll need to do a retrospective on all the tomfoolery that Wizards of the Coast has done to their flagship brands of Magic the Gathering and Dungeons and Dragons. Which, for as a reminder, Magic the Gathering and Dungeons and Dragons are literally keeping Hasbro afloat right now, because all their other sectors, I actually do listen in on their earnings calls and shit and stuff. Every other sector for Hasbro is in the red right now, and the only thing that's keeping them afloat is Wizards of the Coast right now. And we all know how bad Wizards of the Coast is doing for shitting on their brands of Magic the Gathering and Dungeons and Dragons. So the fact is, the anchor is keeping the ship afloat right now is fucking wild and hilarious and sad. WotC died a long time ago, but goddamn, it still hurts. And continuing on. Wizards gives all Magic the Gathering commanders partner for Pride Month. Hey, we're not even anywhere near June and they're already rolling out Pride shit. So pretty much the title says everything. For those who don't play Magic and stuff, partner is a mechanic for commander, in that the commander format is that you have a legendary creature as your commander, your big dude. And that's what the format revolves around. And the partner mechanic is that if your commander has partner, if these commanders have partner, and you go and you also other terms and conditions, but it allows you to have two or more commanders as opposed to just one. That's all it comes down to and stuff. But the fact is that they're gonna, I don't know how they're gonna do it. Like a bruise, my format. So I think the way I'm reading it is that for Pride Month, for tournaments, for commander tournaments, they're going to allow anyone to have commander. Like any commander can have partner. It doesn't have to have the keyword tied into there. So okay, whatever. But it's just so fucking stupid, because WotC promoting all the gay agendas and all that kind of stuff is the dead horse at this point. Okay, so tits on screen. Do not disclose this is an ad. OnlyFans creator says Biden admin paid for full-on political propaganda. OnlyFans creator and TikTok star Farhar Khalidi says that the Biden administration paid for her to push full-on political propaganda and asked her not to disclose she was advertising for them. Okay, so the Biden administration totally flagrantly disregards the entirety of the Federal Trade Commission, and, and it's just like, okay, this is going to be a political ad, and this is going to be a political advertisement, but you're not. Do not disclose that this is going to be a political ad. And for a reminder, this is a fucking titty streamer, okay? The Biden administration is paying titty streamers to propagandize for them. That's how fucking. This is. I've been saying this for a while, but this is very emblematic of the 2024 election season. This year is going to be a wild summer. Piss yeah, yeah, pretty much. But this is going to be. Seriously, this is where we're at. The federal, the American federal government is paying titty streamers to sing the praises of Biden. Okay, I cannot emphasize this enough. They're paying titty streamers. Looking at the looking to court the Coomer race now. They upset the blacks after the near menthol ban. I know, right? And I still fucking call that one. They were going to, I called it. They were going to regain on that one. But still, it's just like paying titty streamers, man. Man, I just, I can't even. What is this? I can't even. Okay, let's see. What's this one? Okay, this is a an essay article. This is an essay, "Falling from Grace," authored by Jeff Thomas via the International Man. Uh, what's a good way of summarizing this here essay? Pretty much this. To summarize this essay is pretty much the meme of weak men. Weak men create hard times create strong men create good times create weak men. That's literally all this essay article is. Is literally that meme of weak men and strong men. And I do kind of agree with it, and it's kind of it does come down to suddenly it's like everything was fine, then suddenly everything was not, and then he goes over all the little tick points of how we get in each step and stuff. It's actually a really good read, and why I'm promoting it on stream, but I'm not going to go over too much because literally it just comes down to the weak men strong men meme. Next. Does the CIA run America? Yes. Next question. But this here is actually in terms. This here article is actually in terms of the Donald Trump. Of course, it's about fucking Trump. But it's in terms of all the interference that the CIA ran during the presidential the 2016 presidential cycle, his term in office, him leaving office January 6th, blah blah blah, and how the CIA how all the instances of CIA being a part of that there, and going back even further because JFK was killed by CIA, was my carousels, and CIA running the mainstream media, fucking control opposition with all anytime there's a protest, the CIA will roll out the air quotes Nazis, like the feds meme, like the point at the feds meme and stuff. Again, this is kind of more of an essay one and stuff, but I think it's interesting and very worthwhile reading. Okay, now here's more like news. Remarkable turn of events. This is fucking wild. Alleged spy working for AFD MP was informant for the German intelligence for years. So I covered a little while back of Germany finding a shit ton of Chinese spies, but it's kind of funny in that one of these Chinese spies was was a spy into the AFD. For those who don't know, AFD is the Germany First Party, the right wingers, as it were, and the German Party had one of these spies, which they caught. One of these spies was spying for the quote unquote spying on the air quotes Nazis and stuff, and it's really fucking. It's just so fucking funny. It's just like, okay, you guys weren't able to vet all these Chinese spies, and you used them to spy on your enemies. On top of that, it's just like, bravo, fucking socialists, bravo. And it's just like, my God, the incompetence of the German. Okay, all federal governments are incompetent and shouldn't exist and stuff. But Germany is going a special level of retarded when it comes to this notion of federal governments being fuck ups. It's just like, wow, you and it comes out that the like here's the crux of this news article. This confirms that the ruling party, much like the CIA on Trump, the ruling party, like the Democrats and CIA and blah, blah, on Trump, the ruling party of Germany was spying on their opposition using Chinese spies on top of that. It's just like, this is fucking wild. It's like George R. R. Martin needs to crawl out of his basement, and it's like, you don't need to use ancient European history for your Game of Thrones. Just look at modern politics. It's like, you can't even make this shit up. Oh God. it's just so fucking wild, man. Oh shit. I needed that one. Okay. And so a little bit of a white pill. Uh again, the National Health Service of the UK was woke pieces of shit for a long time, and suddenly, for no apparent reason, they're turning on a dime right now. Chest feeding and other transgender terms banned by the National Health Service by UK government. The UK government is updating the constitution of the National Health Service specifically to expunge the creeping effort to transition medical language by radical gender ideologists. The move is being taken to ensure hospitals use language that is medically accurate and based on biological science. What a notion. It means that terms such as chest feeding as a replacement for breastfeeding will be effectively banned. Referring to people with ovaries instead of women will also no longer be considered acceptable. The Telegraph reports that the Health Secretary Victoria Atkins is scheduled to announce the changes this week. And of course, everyone, the usual suspects are going to be are already starting to over this, and it's fucking hilarious. Germs are reeling after intelligence and military purges after Tagano. Ah, shit. Let's see. The update would also prohibit biological men from being treated on single sex female hospital wards in an effort to protect the privacy and protection of women and girls in the hospital. What a fucking notion! Previously, biological men self identifying as transgender were able to be treated on women's wards. As we previously highlighted, references to women were erased from the National Health Service advice on menopause as well as cervical and ovarian cancer. In addition, midwives were mandated, I remember covering this article specifically, midwives were mandated to use gender inclusive language and issued a list of acceptable terms to use when addressing patients, including mothers or birthing parents, breast, chest feeding, and maternal and paternal. Instead of using the term breast milk, they were asked to choose from human milk or breast chest milk or milk from a feeding mother or parent. In 2022, the Freedom of Information Act request revealed that just 29 of the 142 National Health Service hospitals in England with maternity units still exclusively use the words women or mother to refer to pregnancy, while all the others included terms such as birthing people and or pregnant people. See, in February, but going over other stuff we've already covered and stuff. But again, this is just like I've been saying this for a while. It is turning. The pendulum is swinging the other way. It's going to be slow, but it's going to be hard. So, and the fact is, this year is turning in like the bastion of not nonsense, which is the the United Kingdom stuff. Take notice. It's coming. Okay, so I mean, the protests, the Ivy League Palestine occupation protest nonsense and stuff has been going fucking gangbusters, and I'm kind of struggling to keep up with it and stuff. But this one here is New York Police Department raids Columbia, protesters arrested. It's all over Twitter right now. I'm not going to go over everything. We've all seen the videos at this point. If not, you can just scroll on your timeline for a little bit and stuff and just see all this here shit and stuff. And that the crackdowns happen in New York. I know they cracked down on the Los Angeles campus and stuff too. So as I said before, you have two protected classes, the Jews and the Muslims fighting each other, but the Jews have the purse strings in this here, so you fuck with the purse strings, the jackboots come out. It sucks to suck. So, fuck. Yeah, so that one's that, and I think there's another one. Going to go. Okay, there's one. Two. That's kind of related. Ooh, I got a 404. Gonna come back to that one. That's related. Oop. That's related. That's related. Okay, I think I have a good pile. Okay. So continuing on with the university protest, police regained full control of UCLA as Marxist protesters push off campus. So I mentioned that in the previous one. So New York, they cracked down in New York, they cracked down in LA. So that's that. Let's see. Okay, so this is an earlier article. Chaos erupts as UCLA after pro-Gaza activists refuse entry to non-elite students. So the UCLA one's broken up right now, but at the time they actually did, much like Chaz and Chop at Seattle, like years ago. They actually had checkpoints. They had checkpoints. they had commissars and checkpoints of this shit. It's fucking hilarious. Let's see. Path of least resistance. Northwestern reaches controversial settlement with pro-Palestine protesters. So here's another one. So instead of crackdowns, in this one here, Northwestern University actually capitulated to these guys of allegedly giving out like scholarships to Palestinian students and all that jazz and stuff. And it's just like, okay, so we had one university bend the knee to these guys. So that's that. Okay, and here's a fun little side quest on this here journey. Bill Ackman is among thousands of donors to UNC frat defending U.S. flag from Marxist protesters. So there's a protest going on, and this fraternity had a U.S. flag. On their grounds, and the protesters were going to tear it down. And the frat, pretty much said no, fuck off, and defended the flag. And the George Soros and all his minions are like, we're going to sue you. But then it looks like there's a GoFundMe. There's a GoFundMe for Phi Kappa Phi men defending their flag. Throw them a rager, and there's like a GoFundMe for the fraternity and stuff, and people are coming out in droves to support these lads defending Old Glory. So good for them, good for that. Evenings, Endler. Sorry, I'm late. Yeah, you're fine. You're not really missing much. Clown World's the same at this point, just different coats of paint. So that's that. Black Lives Matter 2.0. Will campus chaos across America's woke universities spread to the streets? Yes. This is kind of more of an article, more of an essay article from Zero Hedge. But the campus protest is going to be the lead up. It's going to be the lead up for the summer. 2024 is going to be the summer of love 2.0. Okay, it's the election season again. And people are at a boiling point right now. The world the way it is right now, inflation, all that stuff. Black pills, left, right, and center and stuff. And the question is, will the campus chaos, America University spread to the streets? Yes. Will the crackdowns from the police continue? Also, yes. So this is going to be interesting. I'm looking forward to this summer. It's going to be fucking nuts. That's all. That's all it comes down to. It's going to be, yeah. Is it going to spill the streets? Yes. Is it going to be nuts? Yes. Am I going to be entertained? Yes. Am I going to report on it? Yes. Let's see. Unity, pro-Israel, and pro-Palestine supporters chant "fuck." Oh, okay. I remember seeing this here creep up on my timeline, and so both sides chant "fuck Joe Biden" in solidarity as Democrats in panic mode. Okay. Here's the thing. We have to watch it because this is emblematic of where the Democrats are right now. Okay. The Democrats right now, the Democrats were shitting their pants before. They are fucking like Montezuma. Their pants right now are Montezuma's revenge right now, okay? The Democrats are shitting to the moon right now. That's how fucked they are. Both sides of the protests and all the nonsense going on right now are unified in the fuck Joe Biden, okay? This is big. This is fucking huge. This is the greatest day of all. I can't do a Trump accent. It's like, this is huge. Fucking huge. It's fucking huge. Yeah, and I just love this. I love the sentiment. He finally found a way to unite the country after 3.5 years. Bravo! They're unified in their hatred against you. It is fucking nuts. Okay, again, both sides chanting "fuck Joe Biden." The Democrats, the Democrats are going to have to pull a special level of cheating this time around. Not that they didn't do it in 2020, but here's the thing: everyone hates Joe Biden at this point right now. The Democrats are fucked, and if they win, people are going to get lynched. Okay, so we're going to return to our old favorite telenovela series on Telemundo. That is Fanny Fulton Fanny Willis, Fulton County, and Fanny flees Fulton County primary debate, leaves opponent facing empty podium. The Fulton County District Attorney Fanny Willis, who is handling the former President Donald Trump's election interference case, skipped a debate against her Democrat primary challenger on Sunday. So she didn't even skip out on a debate with the like a Republican opponent. No, she skipped out on a debate with the her primary challenger on the Democrat ballot. The debate was held by Atlanta Press Club and was the first Democratic Party debate in the country. It was supposed to feature Miss Willis and her Democrat challenger, Christine Wise Smith, an attorney and author. However, Miss Willis was absent from her podium when the debate began, leaving Mr. Smith alone on stage. After providing a brief introduction, Mr. Smith, the moderator, announced that Miss Willis declined to participate in the debate and is represented by an empty podium. Despite Miss Willis' absence, the moderator allowed Mr. Smith to pose his questions to the Fulton County District Attorney. My question is for you is, where are you? I'm here because I care about the citizens and family of Fulton County, Mr. Smith asked. But it's my understanding that you may have attended the White House correspondent dinner. You may be fundraising across the country, but what about us here in Fulton County? What are you doing to address the issues in the jail? What are you doing to address the backlog? Where are you, Miss Willis? That's what we want to know. And it's just like, bravo. It's just like, fucking the Willis story just does not stop. And it's just like, this is like the worst of optics. It's like, you're up for re-election as district attorney. You're under all this shit right now, and you don't even show up. Give the time of day to your local constituency. So it's just like, fuck. It's fucking hilarious shit. Okay. Going back to Clown World proper. Employers must honor preferred pronouns bathroom for employees identifying as transgender, according to the feds. The Biden administration has rolled out a set of new guidelines under which an employer would be deemed liable for harassment for referring to a worker by an unwanted pronoun or requiring the worker to use the restroom that aligns with his or her biological sex. The Equal Employment Opportunities Commission published a new workplace harassment guideline on Monday after approving them in a party line 3-2 vote on Friday. The new document enshrines gender identity as a category protected against harassment, just like sex, race, religion, or disability. See, but here's the rub. Here's the rub in this. Legal implications. The guideline is not legally binding in the same way the law passed by Congress or rules issued by government agencies. The EEOC website describes the guidance as official agency policy and explains how the laws and regulations apply to specific workplace situations. However, Monday's guidance communicates the EEOC's position on legal issues, meaning the employee could potentially refer to the guidelines in the event of a restroom and pronoun dispute. So they're trying. Their last gasp of relevancy. By golly, they're trying. But again, since it's not law enforceable, so good luck with that. And I'm required by law to report on the Canuckistan nonsense. Health Canada asks Pfizer for DNA fragment size in COVID shots linked to probability of genomic integration. So, uh, I've covered variations of this off and on for a while now. In that the labeling and the unreported ingredients and production matters and all the stuff that went into gene therapy rollout and stuff is all coming out to light right now, as we've repeatedly gone over. Repeatedly is the point. But in my nation of cuckery, Health Canada found his balls in Tyrone's purse and demands or ask Pfizer for DNA fragment size in COVID shots. And the reason why this is important because the fragment size allows it to circumvent like other cells and stuff and have more of a effect on cell structure and blah blah blah. Pretty much it's like information that should be part of like part of the labeling and all that stuff is not available, and that health like federal level health agencies has to go to the manufacturer and say like, look, we need this information, fuck off, give it to us. And it's just like fucking it should be there to begin with, and even then you shouldn't be taking it at all and stuff. But the fact is, like I just need to reiterate the point. The federal body of Canada, like Health Canada, has to go to Pfizer and say like, motherfucker, give us the information. It's not like a Freedom of Information Act or anything. This is like a federal government body. It's just like, look, give us the information, you fucking kikes. It's fucking. I just find it funny. Laugh or cry. I'm just laughing. And continuing on with the health nonsense. World Health Organization pandemic treaty ignores COVID policy mistakes. I said, like, God rest her soul. I told my mother this at the start. I told my mother this at the end of 2019. The pandemic is not going to be about the virus. It's going to be about control. And it's shit like this here to prove my assertion at the time. In that it's never about the virus. It's never about the health scare. It's never about the what's the order of operations? It's never about the crisis. Like crisis, destabilization, normalization, all that jazz and stuff. It's never about the crisis. It's about the control. And the World Health Organization is rolling out all these here mandates and stuff, and the powers that be want this stuff to become legal law in all the participating countries in the United Nations. It's just going over like how it's not about health, it's about control. So they're not taking any of the lessons learned, air quotes, big ass air quotes, lessons learned during the pandemic and stuff, and they're kind of just like, okay, we're going to just try this shit again. Like the lockdowns, the gene therapy passports and all that jazz and stuff. So it's just like, yeah, it's like the World Economic Federation, Davos, and the World Health Organization, United Nations, all that shit stuff. It's like, I've said this before and I'll say it again. It's not like a backroom door conspiracy theory and stuff. Again, all conspiracy is two guys trying to fuck over a third, and they report this shit. Okay, they publish this information. It's not like backroom deals and stuff. It's like this is out in the open for you to read, and it's just like they don't care. They all think we're all fucking idiots. Granted, most of us are, but I know how to read. Okay, so Watchlight Peter Daszak testifies days after whistleblower documents expose more about dangerous Wuhan research. I'm going to just quickly summarize this here. So there's a continuing congressional hearing and investigations going on about British epidemiologist Peter Daszak, Equal Health Alliance, testifying today in front of Congress, where congressional investigators will try to get to bottom multiple inconsistent. This is the rub. Multiple inconsistent statements he made about gain of function research, which took place at the Wuhan Institute of Virology. long story short, for those of you who never pay attention, pretty much Fauci and all of his butt buddies, they offshored all this illegal, dangerous research out of the United States and into China. And of course, we got the end results of that being, 2020 lockdowns and all that jazz. And this is in terms of gain and function research and blah, blah, blah. We've been over this before. But, all the documents and all the chickens are coming home to roost now for this here shit and stuff. And I don't think any of these people are going to ever be held accountable. This is honestly, this is just bread and circuses at this point and stuff. And I don't believe any meaningful change or people getting lynched are actually ever going to happen from this here shit and stuff, as much as it should. But I don't know. At least they're going through the motions, I guess. Shrug. And just going over all the details and stuff and blah, blah, blah. Ah, yes. Okay, I need a palate cleanser. Transgender transgender Al Sharpton, by which I mean Whoopi Goldberg, enraged by Donald Trump saying that there is an anti-white feeling in America. There is, but let's get to it. The View host Whoopi Goldberg says she was enraged over Donald Trump asserting that there is an anti-white feeling in America. Goldberg made the remarks as she angrily glared at the camera. Ooh, scary. This is my favorite, and I'm going to tell you before I say it enraged me, she said before going on to quote Trump, who said there is a definite anti-white feeling in the country right now. Apparently, Trump pointing out that a manifestly factual phenomenon is enough alone to infuriate Goldberg and the audience, which murmured with sanctimonious discontent. That's what he said, continued Goldberg, before going on to suggest that there can't be any anti-white feeling until white people are literally being lynched. I'm getting projections on this one. Yeah, sir, nobody in your family is hung. Nobody in your family was chased because of color of skin. How dare you? There's no anti-white issue here. You're perpetrating anti-humanist issues here, she said. One respondent and the next provided a comprehensive response cataloging dozens of examples where media and academia and major institutions have engaged in deliberate anti-white sentiment. Just a big collage of news articles. I'm sure most of them we probably covered ourselves here. When I read nobody in your family was hung, I thought she was making a small pee joke. Oh God, I didn't even think of that. God damn it. God damn it. I can't unsee now. Fuck. Oh shit. yeah. It's the Trump little hands meme all over again. God damn it. Another Warren Goldberg's rage is another example of how they're saying the quiet part out loud, which is true. Others noted how absolutely nobody in Goldberg's family was hanged, rendering her entire argument obsolete. As we previously highlighted, Goldberg's co-host Sonny Hostin faced embarrassment when it was revealed that her ancestors were actually white European slave owners. I remember that. I remember Kevin. That was fucking funny. Okay, this is for me. This is our token geology news for me article, but this is actually kind of big and important. Exxon to win FTC approval for $60 billion Pioneer deal, creating energy supergiant, having adversely intervened in virtually every other merger and acquisition deal in the past 3 years. The Biden Federal Trade Commission will reportedly allow Exxon's $60 billion purchase of Pioneer to go through after the companies agreed to minor concessions. Bloomberg reported, citing people familiar with the matter, the announcement of the deal will likely come at any moment, and the resulting deal will make Exxon, a company which Biden once said makes more money than God, far and away the biggest oil and natural gas producer in the Permian Basin, North America's largest U.S. oil field, and also the biggest energy company in the U.S. Pioneer shares have their down more to... it's going over the stock stuff for Pioneer. Blah, blah, blah. But again, this is kind of like the big point in that ever since Biden got in, the FTC has been all about cracking down on mergers and acquisitions for the fossil fuel industry. And the fact that for me, this here news article is a little more important in terms of geopolitics, like the American election and stuff going, in that the Democrats have lost all control. You know this, I know this, we all know this. The Democrats have lost control. And this is further evidence of them losing control in that the Democrat-led Federal Trade Commission has been putting the kibosh, like for years at this point. Ever since they got in, they've been putting kiboshes left, right, and center on fossil fuel mergers and acquisitions. And the fact that this merger and acquisition is going to go through right now is a big fucking deal. This is a big deal that shows that they've lost control and that they are completely irrelevant at this point, and I'm all for it. It's like I don't even care at this point. It's like asshole versus asshole, in that my favorite asshole in this sewer fight has won, and I'm okay with this. Oh god. Speaking of Congress and shit. House approves Anti-Semitism Awareness Act aimed at cracking down on campus protests. Again, I need to reiterate. I don't believe in the federal government. I don't believe the federal government should exist, and I especially don't believe that the federal government should do shit like write out hate speech laws. And this is what this is. The Anti-Semitism Awareness Act is a hate speech law, and I don't like hate speech laws. They should not exist. But again, I find this fucking hilarious because it's asshole first asshole, and you know what? Fucking go kill each other at this point. I don't give a shit. And it's just like this is like the Democrats and Republicans, like the Uniparty. The Uniparty pushing out this here bill is going to come back and bite them in the ass. Mark my words. And we're probably going to not, much like the Patriot Act. And the Anti-Semitism Awareness Act does not mean what you think it means, and it's going to come back and bite everyone in the ass, and it's going to be fucking hilarious. Oh, this one. Okay. It was brutal. The second whistleblower has died, Mr. President. Second Boeing link whistleblower dies. A whistleblower at Boeing supplier Spirit Aerosystem died Tuesday morning following a struggle with a, and I quote, sudden, fast-spreading infection, the Seattle Times writes. 45-year-old Joshua Dean, a former mechanical engineer and quality auditor for Wichita, Kansas, alleged that Spirit leadership ignored manufacturing defects on the 737 MAX, including mechanics improperly drilling holes into the aft pressure bulkhead of the MAX. When he brought this up with management, he said that nothing was done about it, so he filed a safety complaint with the FAA and said that Spirit had used him as a scapegoat while they lied to the agency about the defects. After I was fired, Spirit Aerosystems initially did nothing to inform the FAA and the public regarding the bulkhead defects, and said Dean in his complaint. In November, the FAA suggested that Dean in the letters that his claims had merit, writing, the investigation determines that your allegations were appropriately addressed under the FAA-approved safety program, adding, however, due to the privacy provisions of the program, specific details cannot be released. Dean also gave a deposition in the Spirit shareholder lawsuit. The shareholder lawsuit alleges that Spirit management withheld information on the quality flaws and harmed stockholders. Was filed December. Supporting the suit, Dean provided a deposition detailing his allegations. After the panel blew off a Boeing 737 MAX plane in January, bringing new attention to the quality lapses of Spirit, one of Dean's former Spirit colleagues confirmed some of Dean's allegations, as reported by the Seattle Times. Oh, even I need to... No way, I'm surprised that the infection didn't enter through 22 bullet wounds self-inflicted in the back of the head. I know, right? This is kind of more of like, hey, it's like, looks like Boeing took a page out of Putin's book, and it was more of a 22 laced with polonium. is my speculation on this one here. Let's see. He had been in good health and was noted for having a healthy lifestyle. According to a report, he had been in critical condition for 2 weeks, according to his aunt, Carol Parsons, who said he became ill and went to the hospital due to breathing difficulties. He was intubated, after which he developed pneumonia and then MRSA, a serious bacterial infection. His condition deteriorated rapidly, and he was airlifted from Wichita to a hospital in Oklahoma City, Parsons said. Then he was put on ECMO machine, which circulates and oxygenates a patient's blood outside the body. taking over heart and lung function when the patient's organs don't work on their own, as reported by Seattle Times. Doctors had considered amputating both hands and both feet. This shit's fucking wild. It was brutal what he went through, said Parsons. Heartbreaking. Dean was fired in April 2023, which he filed a complaint with the Department of Labor alleging he had been terminated in retaliation for blowing the whistle. He was represented in the South Carolina firm that represented Boeing whistleblower John Mitch Barnett, who was found dead in an apparent suicide in March in Charleston, which we covered. Barnett was in the middle of giving depositions, suggesting the Boeing retaliate against him over complaints related to quality issues, which he found dead in a gunshot wound. And see, and going over background on that one there, but again, it's just like as I made a joke. The second Boeing link whistleblower is dead. Can we hit number 3? Can we hit a third mysterious whistleblower dies? Fuck me. Okay, so this is like the CDC found evidence the COVID-19 vaccine caused death. Gotta go to the archive in this one. Archive. You can't hide the information from me. Well, we got a bingo, probably. Let's see. CDC found evidence of COVID-19 vaccines cause death. I'm not really going to go over this. It's kind of like beating a dead horse at this point. This is just more another evidence, another survey, another whatever and stuff. Talking about VAERS. Okay, yeah, sure. So, the main takeaway from this here is that it's not that I said this before at the time. I said this at the time. This isn't information they just magically found. This is information that the CDC didn't report on at the time because it made them look bad, and now it's kind of like the tide is turning. Many things, but including the COVID conspiracy. Again, conspiracy is just two people trying to fuck over a third one. In that they have all this information, we know what they have this information, so they kind of have to say this. All this here is the CDC saving face, and that is like, oh look, we had this information this entire time. Here it is. It's like, motherfucker, where was that at the time? I've said this before, and I'll say it again. Everyone involved in any of this here shit needs to be lynched. Don't pass go. Don't collect $200. Don't crash on the Ubisoft server. Fucking lynched. And here's just another instance, another instance of that there, of COVID-19 linked to alarming rise of highly lethal fungal infection. Like, again, the gene therapy and the underlying virus, totally, definitely, pinky swear, not engineered virus. It, like, the twofer of all these different health conditions and stuff. It's just like fucking. It's like just more fuel to the fire. That's all it is. And going to piss off Dazzle. Going to piss off Dazzle again. U.S. says Russia using chemical weapons in Ukraine, except it's tear gas. Okay, so here's fun. This is coming from the war criminal Canadian, so this is a little fun one. So in the Geneva suggestion, tear gas. Tear gas is included in the category of weapons of mass destruction, chemical weapon, the chemical weapons division of weapons of mass destruction. So I'm going to repeat that because this is important to the story. All these news articles that have been going around, it's like Russia is using chemical weapons in Ukraine. But get angry at this, brah. Actually, technically speaking, they are technically correct, but in that the Geneva suggestion includes tear gas as a chemical weapon of mass destruction. That's all this is. In that Russia is using tear gas in the war. Whoop-de-fucking-do. But again, the CNN and all the usual, Russia, addicts are saying, like, Russia is using chemical weapons. It's like, can we talk about the chemical weapon use that the Americans used during the Gulf War 1 and 2? Can we talk about that? So it's just like, Again, it is massaging the truth to get the desired result and stuff. But at the end of the day, all they're using is fucking tear gas. They're using tear gas. No one gives a shit. And that's all that comes down to it on this here. It's just like, well, it continues to be used as agricultural pesticide. Use in war is banned under 1993 Chemical Weapons Convention. It's like, no one gives a fuck. No one gives a shit. It's like, fuck off. It's just it's tear gas. No one cares. Fuck. Okay. Coming in at 1 hour and 30 minutes on the dot. Agent Orange, clearly not a chemical weapon then, I guess. I know, right? Fuck. I don't know. Clown World is silly. Okay, and before I close out, so just so we're all clear, and for the virtual asylum Magic the Gathering tournament currently has been pushed back to May 11th. That's the going thing. Let me just double check. The thread. Do. Okay. As a potential reschedule for the event, how would the 11th of May work for all use in the same start time of 12 PSD Pacific time, so noon Pacific time? Everyone who is busy with May the 4th. Okay. Here's my running joke with that. There, everyone's gonna be hungover. Okay, everyone's gonna be hungover on their May the 4th celebration, but you have to remember the tournament was originally going to be on Cinco de Mayo. The totally not Mexican, totally definitely U.S. beaner excuse to get drunk. So the 5th of May is also a holiday too. So it's kind of like, okay, apparently everyone's out of town on the May 5th. So everyone's gonna get drunk on tequila May the 5th. So whatever. So the Magic tournament has been rescheduled tentatively as of right now. It has been rescheduled to May the 11th at noon Pacific time. And we still have some open seats. At the end of the day, even if it's not an even number or whatever and stuff, the tournament can still pop off. Worst case scenarios, the odd number, and someone has to get it by. Who gives a shit? But just for the sake of getting the most people available who are interested and stuff, that's what we're going with right now. So if anyone's interested, either message IO or message me, and you can get in on the super secret direct message thing on the forum. But pretty much that's where it stands right now. May the 11th at noon. All right. And I'm going to stream it. And it's going to be fun times. And I guess that's all I have. So, with that, I'm going to sign off right now. Thanks for coming. Take it easy. Later. And now for, again, to reiterate, we need more green text 80 hair metal covers. Go.
He thought, I've never been in this neighborhood before. There could be knickers anywhere. He thought sweet dreams of She's sad.